The New York Giants were not going to win that game last night. So do not come in here with your hilarious takes and your corny one-liners about how a black cat changed everything for them. Don't do that. Man, knock it off. Don't talk to me like that.
Don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off.
Be better than that, because I know the Giants are not better than that, and they were not going to win that game. And by the way, how terrible a look was that cat last night for the Giants? First of all, how is there a cat in your stadium? Much less, apparently, lots of them in your stadium. And secondly, how bad is it that the cat is the most exciting thing about your team right now? And if you've got no idea what I'm talking about because you didn't watch that game, you're about to find out. Because if an animal runs on the field, if the game has to be interrupted by a cat, who do you want to call the action of that cat? Well, the GOAT, of course. The GOAT, Kevin Harlan, on the cat. As long as we're tipping the cap to media pros, how about my guy Ross Tucker, who was working the sidelines, showing some quick feet when the action came at him, and he took out the sound man. If you're wondering how I managed to get this far into a Cowboys-Giants game without talking about the Cowboys or the Giants, it's because that was not a good game. And I know the Giants were winning before the cat showed up, but nobody really thought the Giants were going to win that game. And sure, a win is a win, especially if it's on the road against a divisional rival in prime time. I guess, sort of. Just don't tell me we learned anything about the Cowboys last night, because we didn't. Because they weren't playing anybody who matters at all. And yet somehow they managed to come out and quickly fall behind. And then they kept trying to give that game away in the first half. But the Giants obviously did not want it, and they wouldn't take it. And then the black cat came on the field. And again, if there are any Giants fans listening who want to blame that game on that cat, you're a loser. Because it's not like the Cowboy players were fired up when they saw that cat. Look, what I'm saying is blaming it on the black cat would make it sound like the Giants actually had a good thing going before their luck changed. They didn't have a good thing going. And you know why that is? They're not a good team at all. And if you're going to blame the loss on the black cat, how do you explain them losing 4 in a row coming into that game when the cat was nowhere to be found? You can't, but I can. It's because the Giants are not good. Not on offense, not on defense. And Pat Shurmur and his crew better hit their knees every single night and give thanks for the New York Jets, because otherwise they'd be getting a lot more heat and attention than they are right now. That clown show that Crazy Eyes is presiding over is taking the glare off the Giants. But there's no getting around it. The Giants are 10-31 since the start of 2017. That is the worst record in the league during that time. Even worse than the Jets. And yet somehow the Giants are seen as the competent organization. Somehow, when they're 0-6 this season, when Saquon Barkley plays the entire game, they're the competent organization. How the hell is that possible? Well, because of nights like last night. Dak Prescott throws an INT on the first play from scrimmage, and New York takes over at the Dallas 8. Wouldn't you think, with Saquon Barkley in the backfield, the Giants were a lock to start that game 7-0? Run this stud 4 straight times, cash in that gift that Dak gave them to start the night. But of course they didn't. Instead of punching it into the end zone, they had 2 runs, an incomplete pass. They settled for a 21-yard field goal. It's a bad thing. Well, it's a bad thing, except it's sort of a good thing, because that was their first lead in a game since week 4. It's November, and that field goal gave them their first lead in a game since September. That's how bad their offense is. And as bad as their offense is, it's not like the defense is much better. They went out and they make that deal for Leonard Williams from the Jets to shore up their rush defense. That didn't work. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 139 yards and then absolutely kicked the Giants in the package with his post-game comment. Quote, "It was the easiest 140 yards I've ever gained. I don't even know if I broke a tackle. I just ran inside the scheme. Those guys just mauled them up front. Thank them for making it easier on me." End quote. He just said, the easiest 140 yards I've ever gained. I don't even know if I broke a tackle. End quote. How's that taste, G-men? Not only did he gash you, he couldn't wait to clown you when it was over, like a man running over boys. It's a good thing that cat showed up. Otherwise, that would have been an all-time bore fest. Yes, the Cowboys had a nice moment or two, like Michael Gallup showing off his Ross Tucker-like footwork on this play. I guess what I'm saying is that was pretty good. But you know what would have made it better? If the Giants actually showed up. Hell, unless you like 4 field goals of 29 yards or less. If short field goals are your game, if you love offenses that can't do a damn thing in the red zone, then the Giants did the damn thing for you all night long. If you like short field goals and pointlessly challenging PI calls that the league is never going to overturn, then Pat Shurmur is your coach of the year. And if you like a quarterback who can't wait to give the ball away, then I've got your giveaway GOAT. May I introduce to you your hero, Giants fan, Daniel Jones. Another Daniel Jones fumble. My man is a turnover machine. He had 3 more last night. For the season, he has 8 picks and 8 fumbles. He's tied for the league lead in turnovers at 16. He's only started 7 games. What I'm saying is maybe the guy being fitted for a gold jacket after beating Tampa Bay might not be the second coming of Y.A. Tittle after all. I'm not saying he's terrible, but with the way the Giants fans and the New York media were reacting for that one game against the Bucs, you would have thought they had Patrick Mahomes, and they don't. What they have is 5 straight losses, no wins since September, and a quarterback with a total of 2 games where he threw more TDs than picks. And they've got the Jets on Sunday. What a freaking spitting match that's going to be. From the Adam Gase Bowl to the Failure Bowl. A couple of 1-7 teams. And Cowboy fan, yeah, I know a win's a win, but that does not make you a Super Bowl contender. Far from it. Super Bowl contenders beat up on bad teams. They don't play down to their level for most of the game. Coach them up, Ginger. Do better, because what you're doing is not nearly good enough, and they are not Super Bowl contenders. Giants feed Jets. And I would have thought that either had hit rock bottom, but not yet.